Welcome to the Slightly Amusing Podcast. My name is Ryan, and as always, I am joined by the illustrious Cody.
Hello.
Thank you for joining us this evening. Just a reminder that you can find this podcast on both YouTube and Spotify. On YouTube, you can find it under my YouTube channel, RJFoxtrot, and on Spotify, you can search Slightly Amusing. And hopefully it's the first one that comes up, or second, or third. I just hope it comes up in general. Who's to really say?
If there are others popping up, we need to start getting the lawsuits ready.
Oh, they've been ready. If you would like to follow Cody, you can do so on YouTube at Buglies, and also on Twitch at Buglies. I'm also on Twitch at RJFoxtrot. And our big story for tonight, our main event, if you will, comes to us directly from Cody. We have the source here in the podcast.
Insider material, baby. Yeah. So, let's get to it. So, this past weekend was my birthday. I turned 25. I don't really care about the numbers, but I made it a goal to be a big one, because obviously 25 is big. And this year, wanting to dive into content more, I launched a new YouTube channel. And the applause and the crowd goes mild, yay. So the new channel is called Buglies Productions, and there's already a new video, or the first video is up. I don't know, I'm tongue-tied today. The first video is up. It was about me trying to kind of break through my crappy routine and ingest more creativity into my mind holes. But I kind of want to talk about the whole reason for the channel first off, because starting at the beginning of the year, and you can go back to our first podcast and listen to all this stuff. It was our New Year's resolutions, and one of my goals was to start making more consistent content on my current YouTube channel. And when I did that, I started trying to plan out some videos that I could do, and I realized there was the main channel is gaming. It's very obviously and blatantly gaming. And with that, I realized that a lot of the stuff that I was wanting to do wasn't really based around gaming, because I am very passionate about photography and filmmaking. And so I wanted to a lot of the ideas I was having was like, oh, I want to go do a photo shoot like this, or I want to shoot like a short film. So I decided that I'd just, instead of trying to make stuff like that fit into the gaming channel, I was just going to make one where I could have free reign and do whatever I wanted to on that note.
Let me start it off by saying I'm proud of you for taking this step. I'm also quite angry with you for taking this step, because because this is an idea I've had in the works too. Not yet to the extent that you've had it. I was going to wait until my living situation changed, and then I was going to try to attack it more. But there's a kind of like a running joke now that I copy Cody in regards to tech and entertainment, based on really two things that I can think of. One is he had a Rode Pod mic, and then I bought a Rode Pod mic, and then the second thing is he had a newer shotgun mic, and then I bought the same newer shotgun mic.
Oh, you
got it?
Now,
the shotgun mic, I thought I showed that to you.
I don't think you did.
Oh, I thought I did. Anyways, yeah, I got that mic, which is like $20. The newer mic, 100%, I copied that off of you. I will admit that straight away. I listened to how it sounded in like some of your videos. I was like, that sounds pretty good for like $20. Sure, I'll get one. So now I have a shotgun mic. The pod mic, though, while yes, I did get it after you, and partially because of your recommendation, I did a lot of thorough research on dynamic microphones under $100, and that one kind of came out as the winner. And so it was a combination thing. And then I've also thought of getting a Stream Deck. Cody already has a Stream Deck, and he was making the joke like, "Oh, you're continuing to copy me." I was like, kind of, yeah, I guess. I mean, you've kind of sold me on how good the Stream Deck is.
What can I say? I'm just the trendsetter over here.
I guess so, but now
specifically for Ryan, though, for no one else.
I guess so. But now, several months from now, if I ever do get around to starting this second channel, everyone's gonna say, "Oh, he's just copying Cody again," even though I've had this in the works before you announced it. I was like, son of a bitch.
Here's the thing. I thoroughly believe that once you get that content going, it'll be obvious that you're not copying me. Because I know me and you have very different minds.
We do.
And you're more of a, I don't know, a story-driven person. Like,
What am I, Cody?
I'm because when I think of you, I think of like all of these big movies that you love, and you've told me you've written a couple different scripts. You want to do that. That's great. I just want to have fun with photography and video, and I have, on a similar note, I have some short film ideas that are really nothing more than like a 2 to 5 minute little comedy video in like the style of a Key and Peele video. So once we both get it rolling, I'd like to think it'd be obvious that you're not copying me. I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt here. Don't copy me.
No, I won't at all. In fact, I already know my first video is going to be me trying to break the mold of my everyday life and just how this channel is going to be dedicated to doing that full time. So yeah, I'm not copying you at all.
I hate you sometimes.
I know. But I mean, and I did think about this, like, well, we're going to have slightly different content. My stuff, I wasn't really intending for it to be like in a vlog style like yours kind of was, even though it's a very well done vlog. Not like, you know, you just have like, it's not like your normal vlog where like, oh, it's just a person just sitting in front of camera talking about their day. No, it's like you put a lot of effort into it. Similar to like a Peter McKinnon type vlog. I wasn't going to be really focused on that. Mine was going to be more so focused on like sort of cinematic videos, ideas that I already have. So yeah, I think in that way it would kind of differ. I figured that you would probably put up videos more often than I would, just because of the vlogging style is kind of like not adheres, but like it lends itself to being done more often than what I was planning.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I saw the first thing as soon as you told me what your announcement was, I was like, son of a bitch. Now I gotta deal with this shit too.
Yeah.
But no, like I said, I'm happy for you that you started this, because you're a pretty decent filmmaker for not doing it very often, and I think you're just gonna get better.
Well, thanks. Yeah, right now I'm looking at my Notion, and some of the ideas I have on my idea board are I got a camera review that I want to do, which I don't want to. I'm not gonna give many details on these because I don't want somebody to go and steal them.
I don't blame you. I know what that one is though, and I am excited
what that one
for
is.
it.
I think was it you or Dustin that gave me that idea? I think it was you.
I might have.
I
can't remember. You've had that idea for a while now.
And I got a couple of the like little short film thingies I got, and I also have on here because I'm planning on getting a new camera bag at some point in the next few months. So I have on here when I do that, just do the cliche "what's in my camera bag." So
I mean, that's honestly like I would probably do that at some point too.
Absolutely.
It's kind of like an easy go-to video to do.
Just make it while I'm filling it out and figuring out how I want to go. Be like, I got this.
Something I think be good would be to create a compilation of like all the major YouTubers doing their "what's in my camera bag" videos. Just like grab all of them and just splice them together. Because everyone has them.
And I'm also was just last night talking with my buddy Wesley, who is his channel name is that guy who played Cal Kestis on YouTube. And he does a lot of Star Wars stuff, but he's been trying to like get into more photography stuff. So me and him were actually just talking last night about doing some collaboration stuff. So look at that, one video in, and I'm already getting some work with me.
There you go. Well, I mean, I'm available too, but
yeah,
you didn't ask me.
I was going to. Okay.
I'm kidding. I'll say this too. Like Cody did a pretty good job at keeping it a secret. Before telling me, I had like a couple different ideas. One of the ideas I did have was that he was going to be collaborating with someone on his gaming channel. That was literally like one of my ideas. I don't know why my mind went straight to that. I think partly was because when I was like asking you more about it, you were like, "Oh, it's not yet finalized." It's like, finalized? Like, well, that seems like you're gonna be working with someone else then if it's not yet finalized because of scheduling. But
no, when was that? That was the Super Bowl night. At the point I wasn't done editing it. That's what it was. But I got so mad when you're like, "Oh, you're doing some big collab." I'm like, "Shit, that would have been a good idea too."
It would have been a good idea.
It would have been
a good way to like jumpstart your channel.
Yeah.
And you can still do that, obviously.
Obviously, yeah.
But I thought it was either that. There was like another one that I thought of while I was still talking to you. I can't remember what it is right now. But then you left. Then I spent a solid like 15 minutes sort of like theorizing what it could be. And I just kind of going through the list. And a second channel honestly did pop up as one of the leading candidates. But at the same time, I was like, I feel like he doesn't have enough time to do that though. And so that was why I was like, I'm not sure if he's going to be doing that one. And I was still leaning on the collaboration angle. But you've proved me wrong.
Yeah. Time is a great thing. I still haven't decided on a consistency that I want to do this on, so it's just kind of for right now, because I'm still dedicated to my every week on the gaming channel that I set at the new year. So for now, it's just going to be as they come. But it honestly didn't add that much workflow on top of what I already had, because other than like the fact that I was out all morning shooting, it maybe took me about 3 hours to edit. 3 or 4.
Oh, that's not too bad.
No, not at all.
Yeah, I think the as they come angle I think really works for these types of things as well, because well, I mean, you look at like Peter McKinnon or Chris Howe or any of these other big time photography YouTubers, and I think at one point they were on schedule, but now I think they just kind of throw them out whenever they get the chance, and they still have pretty good numbers. I think this kind of lends itself to a style where you don't have to have a consistent schedule, not like a podcast or gaming videos or anything like that. So I know when I'm doing it, I definitely won't be doing it very often. I'm probably, oh geez, I don't want to set a time limit right now, or not time limit, but like a time frame yet, because this is still kind of in the just in the idea phase, I do have some ideas, but my point being, I don't think you need to upload every single week. Maybe like once or twice a month, maybe a little more than that if you have some good content.
Maybe 3 videos a month. I don't know. It just depends on what happens when stuff happens. We'll see.
Fair enough.
See.
Was there any more that you wanted to say about the video, or about your channel, or about anything?
Discuss the video. We can get into the channel in a minute. Yeah, you mentioned like Peter McKinnon and all them, like that he is one of the bigger influences on my kind of like style of filmmaking and storytelling. It's kind of a toss up between Peter McKinnon and another YouTuber. I don't know if you would have heard of them, Hayden Pedersen. He's
I've heard the name, but I don't think I've ever watched one of his videos though.
Yeah, he's an Australian YouTuber, and I follow him and all of his friends that are from there, and they do like so much like really creative stuff when they go out and shoot. Like they'll go do, I don't know how feasible this would be in Florida, but they go out and do like photography with flares. They've done some with they did one where they just shattered a mirror and got a picture of a glass like shattering everywhere. Colored what was it, like paint powder, throwing it around to get some different colors. They do like a lot of crazy, really creative stuff, and that's like just super inspirational. Like, yeah, I go out shooting at downtown or Riverwalk with my buddy, and I'm like, I can do more than this. So I'll like jump into their videos and start like getting some ideas and stuff. And so yeah, that's kind of where I was taking a lot of my inspiration from. Now onto the video. I'm glad you think it came out as good as it did. Dustin also got back to me saying he thought it was a pretty A-okay himself.
Let me say that I thought it was really good first attempt, considering I'd never seen you do a video like that before.
Well, thank you.
I definitely saw issues that, you know, a first-time person would probably make.
Well, let me hear some of the critiques that you had before I get into the problems I had with it.
I think the biggest thing that I saw was from an audio standpoint, and you might have seen this too. Was, well, one, there was a time where there was just random static in the audio.
Yeah, I'll get to this. I'll let you finish your point.
But then the other part with the audio was that when you would turn the camera away from you, You got very quiet to the point where there was one point you were talking and I could not hear what you were saying. That was like the most noticeable critique I have with the video, I would say.
Yeah, that was the biggest thing that I took away from it afterward. I didn't even think about it while I was shooting. I was just kind of in the zone. But the on-camera shotgun mic that I have is some cheapo starter mic that was recommended by some YouTuber I bought a long time ago. It's by a company called Tackstar, and it was like a $15-$20 mic. It's an okay mic. It sounds fine, but I noticed one of the issues where you couldn't hear me. That was my own stupidity, because I would turn the camera away and not turn the mic back around, so I was talking into the back of it. But like I said, that was just kind of, I was in the zone and not thinking about it. The other thing, and you said this, you noticed it, and I tried to mask it as best as I could. This thing had a shit ton of handling noise, and it made me so mad when I was reviewing the footage. I'm like, oh no. Like, there were actually parts of the story of me down there that I had to cut entirely because it just kind of like started rocking around as I was walking, and all you heard was.
Oh really?
I was so mad. I was so mad.
Damn.
But I've found how I'm resolving that. I'm getting a new microphone for myself for my birthday. The model.
Do you know which one you're getting?
It's by a company called Deity, and it's the D4 Duo. Now it's kind of more sized like a Rode Video Micro, like the tiny little $50 one they have. And it has a nice shock mount built into it, so that takes away the handling noise that I was dealing with. And the other thing that I really like about it is it has capsules on both sides. So you can be talking to one side, then turn around, and it still be talking. And when it records to the camera, I don't know specifically which one's which, but like it'll send the front capsule hard pan left and the back capsule hard pan right, so you can pick which one you want when you need it. So that is 100% what I'm doing to resolve that issue. That sucked. I was not happy with that.
Damn, am I gonna copy you again?
Dude, it's a good mic. I obviously don't have it yet, but from everything I've done, I've looked into on-camera mics a lot, and that's like, every time I go looking, I end up back on that one. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna get this one. So I'm getting it for myself for my birthday. People buy gifts for themselves for their birthdays, right? That's a thing?
No.
Oh, okay. I guess I'm just a narcissist.
Yes.
Did you have anything else on the video?
I did.
Okay. Hit me.
The other thing was it shook quite a bit when you're holding it and walking and having it aimed at yourself. I could tell that you weren't really used to that, because there were sometimes when it was shaking to the point where I was like, I have to kind of turn away. It was kind of an uncomfortable situation.
Again, that was just kind of the situation, but up until the point where I got the shot, I was using my 22mm prime, which does not have stabilization in the lens, and I knew that going into it, and I tried doing a little post work to get it fixed, but it was just it was rough. The second half of the video, when I got the kit lens, which does have stabilization built into it, was better. But the first part, because it was so dark, I needed to get every bit of light that I could. So going from f3.5 to f2 really helped me there.
Don't you have a small rig?
I do.
I was gonna say you could use that potentially.
Oh, you're talking about the Steadicam.
Yes. Sorry,
yes,
I misspoke.
That would be really hard to do in like the vlogging style, because it's kind of like you have to do both hands. That's a weird device. That's another video I have, is someday trying to actually get down in the dirt and learn how to use that thing. Because I realized I spent a lot of money on it and haven't used it.
Well, now with this channel, you'll have plenty of opportunities to use it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Anything else?
I think that was it. I can't really think of anything else off the top of my head. Did you film when you went to go like eating breakfast with your parents?
I didn't know.
Okay, I was just kind of curious.
Yeah,
because I was wondering how your parents were going to handle it.
Well, so my initial plan was, okay, so let me backtrack a little bit. Some of the issues that I had with what I did was, I had planned out a lot of the video, like in my Notion under the script thing. I just kind of had like the general shot list and talking points that I was following. But the problem was, I had it up until the part where I go to edit. And then after that, I'm like, I really don't know how I'm ending this video out. So I just kind of, it felt like when I was editing it at that point, it just kind of, it was going, and then it was just over. And I'm like, I don't like that. But the initial plan I had was I was going to go somewhere where I could work and edit and set up my camera with a time lapse of me working and editing and enjoying a nice cup of coffee or something. But that didn't pan out, mainly because I ended up eating breakfast with my parents, but also because like I said in the video, I was missing a battery, which really sucked.
That's right.
Which really sucked, because that whole time lapse probably would have used the whole battery, and I didn't have the AC adapting coupler thingy that I'm using with my camera when I stream. But yeah, and then the other thing I had was I didn't do as much B-roll as I wanted to, so a lot of it was just rolling through me talking, and then there were parts where I started doing B-roll segments and stuff, but that was kind of when I started waking up and realizing, like, oh hey, I need to be filming more. So there was a lot I learned from this, but the main thing would just be preparation, because if somebody could have watched our doorbell cam before I left, I ran back into my house like 5 times, like, oh crap, I forgot this, oh I forgot that, oh god, and it was amusing. But yeah, I just wasn't that prepared for it. Like I said, the battery missing, I didn't have my SD reader from my laptop. It was a bit of a cluster. I still think it came out pretty good, but it could have been a lot better had I just prepared a little bit, like the night before or something. So that's really the main thing I learned from it. Yeah, it was a fun experience. Vlogging in public, I thought I'd be like nervous as hell. A, there weren't that many people there, and B, when there were, I just didn't give a damn. I kind of when people started showing up for the regatta thingy, I remembered, I'm like, oh wait, I've never cared what people think of me. And I just kept rolling with it. It was fun.
That's a good mindset to have.
Yeah.
I was slightly concerned. There was a shot you had where you were like right next to the train tracks as the train was coming by. Mm-hmm. And I was thinking, like, that conductor is probably so pissed at you right now.
I actually wasn't that close. That was just I had my kit lens set up at 15 mil, and it was set way back. I was like 7 or 8 feet away from the tracks, but the wide angle made it look like I was right up.
It did look like you were really close to it.
I know.
And I was like,
it was a cool shot, wasn't it?
Get hit by the train.
It was a cool shot, though, wasn't it?
I just pictured the train conductor like over the horn, just cursing you out from behind, and you just keep it a straight face the entire time.
That horn was so loud. I am so glad I wasn't editing with headphones, because that would have blown my eardrums out when I got to that clip. I had to do so much compression on that clip. Oh my god, it wasn't even funny.
I believe it.
We need to go catch the train some morning. It'll be fun. You need to experience it again.
And funny enough, in I guess what you could call a moment of symmetry, that same day I was at the regatta. And for those of you who don't know, a regatta is basically an event surrounding boats and racing, and boat racing. Yeah. But I was there and it was packed. There was they closed down a whole bridge into town so people could go go stand on the bridge and watch overhead as the boat race was going on.
Dude,
and I showed up there at like 2, and I was there until about 3:30. First I kind of like walked around the river walk in the plaza area where they had some booths going up, and I was trying to take pictures of that. And then they started actual boat racing, and I was on the side of the river at this point, not on the bridge. And I don't have a telephoto lens. My kit lens that I still have only goes up to 70 millimeters, which is not very far when you're trying to do some sports stuff, especially sports stuff that's on a river.
That's 70. That's 70 on a full frame too, so that's no crop in it at all.
Oh no, it's not. So I was able to get some shots, but I was like, this just isn't working. Do I have time to get up to the bridge? And so I didn't run, but I like fast walked up to the bridge. And it's a long bridge. I mean, it's a bridge that cars drive on. And so it ended up taking me like probably like 10 minutes to get to kind of like the breaking point of the bridge where the main part of the race was happening. Just dodging, bobbing and weaving between people. And I get up to the top, and they have announcers going on up there, and like everyone is on the edge of the bridge. There's like no free space. And I just keep walking and walking until I find something. I end up finding one thing, and it was this group of people who had chairs behind them, like lawn chairs. And there's like a little gap, and it was blocked off by a chair. So I actually stood right behind the chair and started taking pictures down at the water of the boat racing. And I was like, oh yes, I got a good spot. And I took about like 20 pictures. My battery died.
Oof.
And I've had this camera for over a year. I still don't have a backup battery. I still only have that one battery. I forgot to charge it that day. So I end up only getting about 80 pictures total because I didn't charge it. I didn't think about charging it. And I'm glad I was able to get some photos. One of the photos I already posted to Instagram. But I was like, no, because I made it up there. I was literally up there for about 3 minutes, and then battery died. I was like, well, all right, time to go home, I guess. So I found it interesting that you had the same sort of battery issue that I did on the same day.
So, funny thing about battery issues, this is, I think, the only time that I've been out shooting where with fully charged batteries I had to change them. Like, usually,
Really?
Granted, normally I'm just doing stills, but this was the first time where I showed up with a full charge battery in my camera, and while I was shooting, I saw the please change battery pack symbol pop up. I'm like, huh, interesting. Okay. Yeah, that's rough, dude. That's rough.
Yeah, it was one of those instances where, you know, you're fortunate that it did work out a little bit, but I mean, imagine if that was a different situation, a different event. And
imagine if you were getting paid
shot.
to do that.
Oh, if I was getting, oh no.
If you were getting paid, I'd say you need to go buy a couple more batteries, at least a battery.
If I was getting paid, I would. I mean, probably the next thing I'm gonna buy is another battery. I do have like a list of things I need to buy for my camera. First is a battery. Second is a telephoto lens, which will probably set me back quite a bit. Yeah, it definitely was a learning time. That's the first time my batteries ever died on me, and I will never try to make that mistake again. I'll definitely try to go into these events with a fully charged battery at the very least, and if it dies, it dies. But at least it won't die while starting off the day half charged.
Yeah. Here's a little behind the scenes for the video. So the shot that I ended up getting wasn't actually let me see if I can phrase this better. So in the vlog, when I got to the point, I started setting up where I was taking the shot, and I waited for the sun to come up, and then I set my camera up and I started taking a few shots. When I got back into editing, I realized that I had waited a little bit too long, and it had just gotten just bright enough to where I wasn't getting the illumination off of my laptop that I wanted. So I ended up scrolling back to the test shot that I had taken for framing. I'm like, that's a pretty banger shot right there. So I didn't end up going with any of the actual shots that I did. I just used the test one, and I found that funny.
I mean, it worked out really well. It was very well edited, I thought.
Well, thank you. It's just funny how life works like that sometimes.
How much B-roll did you end up filming?
Not a lot.
Do you remember it was about how much?
Probably a collective 15 shots. 15 or
really?
15 or 20 at least at 60 frames. I got a few shots that I used as B-roll that were in 24 while I was just filming, but yeah, that was one of the things I took away was I need to shoot a lot more B-roll when I'm doing this, because I got to that point in editing, I'm like, I have a lot less than I thought.
Yeah, always shoot more than you think you need.
Yeah, and like I said, I didn't shoot almost anything up until the point where I was getting ready to take the shot. So I'm like, okay, this is gonna be, for me, it was like really awkwardly paced once I finished, once I finished it all up. So that's definitely, again, these are all just learning points I'm taking in and just keeping in the back of the mind next time I'm out filming or preparing a video or something.
Yeah. And then, what was the music you used?
Stream Beats.
Okay, so I figured it was, because Stream Beats is just very useful. I use them too. In fact, that's what you're listening to right now is Stream Beats.
Hey.
I just wasn't sure if you were like, if you sought out other stuff. I know that Stream Beats has a lot, and I still haven't gone through the entire library because there's like 1,500 songs at this point.
So we've had this talk before. I do just like casually listen to their playlist in the background, like at work or something. And if I find a song that I'm listening to, I'm like, you know, I can see this working like in a video in some kind of context. I'll just like it. So when a lot of the times when I'm editing, I'll just go through my liked songs on Spotify and be listening to the different stuff. Yeah, that's how I get a decent bit of my music. If not, just like going for like the general vibe. Like, okay, like I'll do this more for the gaming. I'm like, okay, I want dubstep vibe, so I'll just shuffle through that playlist and pick a handful of songs that I like, go download them and get them going. But yeah, I on the music front, I do, because I've seen a lot of creators that I like using Epidemic sounds, and I do plan on moving to that at some point.
Same.
But that is a monthly subscription, so with that and my Creative Cloud subscription, I'd be paying like $65 or $70 a month to make videos. So for now, I'm holding off on that, but at some point in the future, I do want to do that, because that'd be fun.
I don't blame you.
I've heard some bangers off of their playlists.
So yeah, be sure to go check out Cody's second channel, Buglies Productions.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe we can make it the main channel if it gets big enough.
Yeah, this is all experimental and whatever. Just it's like throwing shit at the wall and seeing what sticks.
Hey, it's not shit.
You get my point.
Yeah, I know.
And from there, it's this week's iteration of So That Happened. I found this on a website called upi.com in their odd news section.
Odd news, that's the place that you would be browsing.
I mean, it really is. You'd be surprised how many websites have a section entirely dedicated to weird or odd news stories.
I believe it.
This is one from a website called UPI. Entire cabin reported stolen in Michigan.
Wait, what?
From the article, Michigan State Police investigators are seeking the help of the public to locate an entire cabin. Michigan State Police's Houghton Lake Post said the 12-foot by 28-foot cabin was originally located in Cold Springs Township. The cabin is believed to have been taken sometime between November 18th and December 16th.
Damn.
So that's something you don't see every day.
That is fascinating.
Obviously, this is a situation, it's not something that happened kind of overnight. I think you can kind of guess that. The fact that they have such a wide range leads me to believe that this is on someone's private property and it's like way off on its own and it wasn't checked for a while. And so it's very possible someone could have, I mean, that's like an entire month. Someone can easily, in that time frame, if it's off in the middle of nowhere, could have torn it apart and just taken it that way.
Or maybe not even tore it apart. It's only 12 feet long. That could fit down a 2-lane highway at night.
No, that too. That's also possible. I was shocked by sort of the time period they put there. It was like a month. There's a month time frame where this could have been stolen.
That's crazy.
But what I'm also shocked at is the fact that, this wasn't reported until like this week. Remember, it said between November and December it was stolen, so why wasn't this reported before that?
I just picture some guy walking out to his front porch. Hey, Jill, did you move the cabin?
No.
Well, shit, I think somebody stole it.
Weird southern accents up here in Michigan.
Oh, that's right. Look, when you're talking about stolen cabins, I'm thinking backwood, okay? I'm sorry.
It does look backwood. I mean, it looks, obviously with the time frame, I think this is probably on someone's private property. And it's in a place called Cold Springs Township, so it's not exactly a bustling metropolis.
Fascinating.
And I guess that's going to wrap it up for today. This is by far our shortest episode yet.
Still full of content, though. Still
Full of content. Absolutely full of content. Brimming with content.
Full of content about new content.
Exactly. Content upon content. That is what we're about here.
Are we dealing with contentception?
Maybe. But thank you so much for listening or watching, depending on what you're doing. As I said before, you can find this on YouTube and Spotify. On YouTube, it is under my YouTube channel, RJFoxtrot. And on Spotify, you can just search Slightly Amusing. Hopefully, it'll be one of the ones that pops up. If not, I'm so sorry. I also stream on Twitch, also under RJFoxtrot. Someday I'll probably have a second channel, but that day is not today. And also be sure to follow Cody with his new second channel, Buglies Productions. He also has his first channel, Buglies, which is mainly gaming.
Yes.
He also streams on Twitch at Buglies. And what is your schedule, sir?
Tuesdays and Fridays, 7:15 Eastern time, whatever time that is for you. I don't know. Not a clock.
There you go. Cody is not a clock. If you've taken anything from this podcast, let it be that.
Jeez.
But as always, my name is Ryan. His name is Cody. We hope you've been slightly amused, and we will see you guys next time. Have a good one.
That was good shit right there, mate. That was good shit.